What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Tammy from Tammy Talks here. We are here to talk All American Season 4, Episode 2. I ain't going out like that. So, as always, thank you to everybody that rocked with me last week on the season premiere of All American. If you have not already, please consider subscribing to my channel so you will be notified of all the reviews that I do, from this to Insecure to Power to Married at First Sight, to the list goes on and on and on. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, y'all, which is super dope. Thumbs up the video, jump down in the comment section. Let's get right to it. So this episode starts off with Spencer and Olivia. They are at Spencer's house. They're making out. I hate the phrase making out. I hate the phrase making out. They are kissing, and Spencer's worried about his mom coming home and catching him on the couch. Olivia mentions that, if you would just come over to my house, we wouldn't have this problem because her parents will be home. That's basically what she's saying. My parents will be home. Don't give a damn what we do. But as we know from last episode, Billy is still mad at Spencer, so he's not speaking to him. So Spencer is really avoiding the Baker household. So Spencer gets to work, and Asher and Jordan are there. Jordan is flashing his rings, and it's like, we know y'all lost. Y'all know that y'all really lost, but whatever. And they kind of talk about Asher not being able to play football anymore. We know that last season, Asher, after doing like a physical, it found out that he had some type of heart condition where he's not able to play anymore because he might have like a heart attack on the field. So because of that, he was pulled from the championship game. So Jordan asked Spencer why he hasn't been around the house lately. And Spencer is like, because your dad's not rocking with me. Like, even when we're at school, it's like he's looking right through me. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, why even come and put myself into this awkward situation that I really can't avoid? So we see Olivia trying to talk to Billy about Spencer. And Billy is like, everything is fine with us, whatever. And Olivia is like, he's my boyfriend. And Billy was like, for now. And he kind of tries to get Olivia to break up with him. And it's on somewhere, he's going to he's going to college in Ohio. We're in LA right now. So y'all ain't gonna last. And Olivia is like peeping how like petty her dad is being, and she basically is paying him dust. So it is Layla's 18th birthday. She comes downstairs, and the Baker family is excited. They like made her breakfast, and Jordan is doing like some type of like banter with his mom, where his mom was like telling Layla, you only turned 18 once, so we wanted to do it real big for you. And Jordan was like, nobody says that. And his mother was like, everyone says that. So Jordan being Jordan, that's like, no, you only turned 17 once, you only turned 19 once. And Billy was like super short, enough. And it's like, Billy, are you going to have an attitude the whole damn season? Really? Like, let it go. At this point, let it go. So we see Patience and Coop. They're sitting in that little cafe that they're always in. I forgot what it's called. I be wanting to call it the Crenshaw, and I know that's not the name of it. And I'm wondering how Coop is already at the hospital. I would like to know how much time has passed. How is she that healed up that she's able to be out frolicking the city when she was like just in life-threatening surgery after being shot? But okay. So the magic of TV. So Coop is like basically ignoring Patience, and she's on her phone the entire time. So Patience texts her, and it's like, how's your breakfast or something like that. And Coop texts back, and Patience was kind of like, I was hoping you would, verbally say it back, like, you being real rude. And Coop is kind of short with her, and it's like, I'm not being rude, I'm busy. There's a difference. And it's like, Coop, nobody got time for your attitude all the time. I do not like Coop. Y'all will learn very quickly. I do not like Coop. I don't see it for Coop. Breeze as an actress is phenomenal. Coop is trash. And Patience is just kind of like over it. She's still mad at Coop for taking for taking the blame for shooting Mo last episode. So she's not really for Coop's, mess. So Coop tells Patience she's getting ready to go to the studio. And Patience is like, are you ready for that? And Coop kind of snaps at her and it's like, yeah, I'm going, ain't I? And that's when, in my mind, I was like, she's not ready to go. But whatever. Asher meets up with his football coach. And she gives him the number to a cardiologist that works for the LA Rams. And she said that he is one of the leading heart surgeons in the country. And he specializes with athletes. So she's like, go talk to him and he might give you better news than the other doctors have given you. Asher is like, I've been to doctor after doctor. They all keep telling me the same thing. Like, I don't want to waste my time, get my hopes set up, anything like that. Like, I'm trying to move on from it. And the coach is like, if I didn't believe that this could happen for you, I wouldn't send you off, on this wild goose chase. So we have Layla, who is meeting with her father for her birthday. Layla is not feeling her birthday this year, y'all. She looks uncomfortable when people tell her happy birthday. She ain't with it. Earlier at school, her friends decorated her locker and told her that they were having a surprise party for her later. She just does not seem to be for the birthday shenanigans at all this year. So her father gives her a tiara. And Layla's like, thanks, okay. And then she just kind of tells her father she really just wants to have lunch with him. She just want to talk about her birthday. She doesn't want any more gifts. And then her father has somebody come out with a cake and they sing happy birthday. And I'm like, Layla just can't win. So we see Asher and he's telling his mother about the doctor, and Asher is trying to plead his case, and it's Coach, I think her name is Montero, but Coach feels like this doctor could really help, and his mother is like, why do you want to keep going to the doctor time and time and time again? They're going to keep giving you the same response, the same answer. So we see Spencer tries to talk to Billy. At his house, he goes to pick up Olivia. They're going to go shopping for Layla's birthday party. And Billy is paying him dust. And it's it's one thing to not be as close as y'all once were, Billy. But you're being downright short and rude unnecessarily. You know what I mean? So if you want to just keep it real cute and at least be cordial with Spencer, do that. But don't be an ass about it. So Spencer is like, what is the problem? How long are you going to be mad at me? And Billy is like, well, there's nothing, there's no problem. I'm busy. I was your coach and the season is now over. Basically being like, I was your coach, nothing more, nothing less. We don't have a relationship outside of that. And it's you can see in Spencer's eyes that he was just kind of bet. And he was just like, okay. And I feel like in that moment, Spencer turned off from Billy. And it's really just kind of, fuck you then. And I think it's because Spencer might even feel like Billy has just been using him the past 2 or 3 years. Because it's did you ever really care about me at all? Or has it really always only been about football with you? So that's going to be very interesting to see how Spencer handles Billy now moving forward. Because you can tell that he's done. And Billy has to get the F over it at this point. Get over it. Yes, Jordan did something stupid. It worked out. It's fine. You honestly should be more mad at your son than you are at Spencer. It doesn't make sense for you to be that pissed at Spencer. So Spencer wants Olivia to let it go. He's like, let it go with your dad. I don't want to talk about your dad. Don't want to deal with your dad. It's fine. Let's focus on me and you. Usher's mom shows up to the school to talk to the coach. And it's ma'am, listen, I had just gotten him to a point where he was over this. He was, coming to the realization that he can't play football anymore and all this other stuff. So, don't live out your failed football dreams through him. And I said, oh, okay, Asher's mom. And the coach tells Mama Asher that don't try this as a second chance for you to finally be a mom. And I said, ooh, shots fired. Bang, bang, bang. Shots fired. So it's kind of interesting to see the dynamic between the two of them. So on one hand, I completely see what Asher's mom is saying. Like, don't get him hyped up. Don't get his hopes up when we both know what the outcome is going to be. Don't do this to him. And then I feel like honestly and truly, I feel like the football coach feels guilty for how she kind of didn't let Asher play. You know what I mean? Like, she made Asher kind of ride the bench the entire last season when he could have been out there, you know, playing and whatever. But I think it's really just guilt, and she's like trying to do whatever she can to try to get him to be able to play again. So we see Coop in the studio, and she in there and she's ready. Just all right, check, and it never comes. And you can tell that something is wrong. I thought it was her nerves. Layla's agitated. So Layla is kind of like, you wasting time and money, sweetheart. My time and my money. And Coop is like, damn, don't rush me. So Coop ends up telling her, like, I'm sorry, you know, I don't mean to be wasting your time and money. And Layla was like, we're both just having an off day, and that's fine. Jordan, oh, did I skip a scene? Yes, so, well, before we see the Coop and Olivia scene, the Coop and Layla scene, Olivia comes home and she's talking to Jordan. And she's asking him, like, why aren't you more upset that Dad isn't talking to Spencer? Because this is really your fault, because you, like, brought him into this. And Jordan is being an ass, and he's, like, holding up his ring, and he's like, it all worked out. And Olivia is like, it's almost like Dad wants Spencer to be perfect. And you can see in Jordan's eyes that it's like, oh, Dad don't really expect that much out of me. So he charges up Billy, and he's just kind of like, why aren't you mad at me? And Billy is like, I am. He's like, well, why aren't you ignoring me like you're ignoring Spencer? And Billy is like, well, you're my son. And he's like, Spencer was your son, like your son too. He lived with us. You took care of him and all this other stuff, but it's like you respect Spencer more than you respect me. Says that he thinks that Spencer was Billy's real favorite son, and like Jordan is just getting all this shit off his chest, because we know Jordan has all from the beginning of the show. Jordan has always had this like hint of jealousy and resentment towards Spencer, and it's really something that Billy put into place. So he's like telling him, like, it's because you expect me to screw up, you expect me to be a fuck up, so because of that you don't expect that much out of me. So me disappointing you was just like second nature, so you're not too worried about it. And Billy, everybody's just having these moments where it's like do click. It's like that switch is going off. So Coop and Patience are arguing at the restaurant, at the little cafe, and Patience is like, why why do you keep making all these decisions that involve both of us? Now, see, Patience talked to her father earlier, and her father was just kind of putting in her mind, Coop is a bad influence. Trouble seems to follow Coop, whether she's looking forward or not. But she's been in the gang, she's been shot, like she dropped out of high school, so her daddy's naming all this stuff. And it's what Patience has been kind of thinking about before anyways. And now it's just kind of like, okay, yeah, she is a bad, like Patience has already been kind of fed up with Coop, but like her dad kind of like put it into perspective. So she's talking to Coop about this, and Coop is like, well, what decisions have I made that don't, involve you or whatever? And me getting shot has nothing to do with you. And patience is like, it involves both of us. We're together. You deciding to go see Mo. You deciding to do all this stuff. Like, it doesn't make sense. And that's when Coop ends up telling her that, you know what, the doctor never cleared me. Um, the doctor never cleared me. I'm unable to really rap because my lung capacity is not there anymore. I couldn't get it out. I was winded. My chest hurt. My lungs got tight. Like, girl, I could barely talk. So, of course, I really can't go in there and rap. So she said the doctor was telling her she might not even be able to perform anymore. So Patience in this moment feels bad and it's like, all right, let me be easy on this. This might not be the best time to break up with her. So we skip ahead to Layla's party. And Billy and Spencer Olivia forces Billy and Spencer to talk. And like I told y'all earlier, Spencer is kind of over it. After Billy kind of told him, I was your coach, the season's over. Meh. So Billy is kind of looking like he's like, we don't say everything we need to say to each other, right? And Spencer was like, I got one more thing to say to you. Why do you think that Jordan came to me instead of asking you for help, coach? And I said, ooh, because it put something on Billy's mind now. Why didn't your son feel comfortable enough to come to you, right? So then we see, hold on, my notes cut off. Okay, so then Patience talks to Spencer at the party, and Spencer approaches Patience and asks her like, "What's going on with you and Coop? Y'all have been mad weird all episode, all party, I should say. Like, what's going on?" And Patience is like, "Well, I almost broke up with her earlier, but then I found out that like she's having some breathing issues and I don't know what's going to happen, if she can't do music because the last time she was unable to do music, she got depressed and that's like when she joined the gang." So Patience is just kind of worried about, I'm not trying to go back this route with her to where now I got to be worried about what other bad decisions she's going to make, what other issues she's going to bring around, what other trouble she's going to bring around me, because I just can't trust her to be an adult, really, and like not stay out of trouble. So Spencer goes out and he's talking to Layla by the pool, and he is he tells her happy birthday, and she's like, "Aren't you going to ask how I'm doing?" He's like, "No." And they have this little moment where it's good to see that they're able to be friends again. But they have this moment where Spencer was just like, I don't like parties. I don't like surprises. I always find a way to, go and find a quiet place to hide. And he basically telling her, "Girl, if you ain't enjoying the party, leave." So Laura comes up to Billy and Billy is like, Billy is like, "Jordan thinks that I respect Spencer more and I expect more out of him." And Laura was like, "You probably do because you view Spencer as an adult. You don't necessarily see him as a kid. And that's how Jordan wants to be treated," which is a very good point. Billy sees Spencer as more, I don't want to say his equal, but he sees Spencer as more of an adult. So he expects more out of him. Whereas he still views Jordan just as, a little dumb teenager. So he does view them on different levels, and Jordan wants to be taken serious. Jordan wants to be viewed more as an adult and not as the little kid that his father sees him as. So we see Asher getting a phone call. The phone call back after seeing the doctor, and he's in there and he's looking for liquor. And Coop was like, "Ain't no liquor here." They got rid of all that liquor when Liv started backsliding. And Asher kind of tells her that he found out that the doctor was telling him his heart conditions were caused by his steroid use. So not only can he still not play ever again, but it's because of something that he brought on himself. And I'm like, damn. I knew that steroid mess was not going to end well for I knew it wasn't going to end well for Asher. So then Coop is kind of saying how she thinks that music might be it for her. She thinks her music career is like over. So they have this like little sad moment or whatever. And we see Layla is upstairs. Olivia comes upstairs and it's like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Like, sorry, we didn't stop the party, whatever, whatever. If you want the party to end, I can clear it out. And Layla's just telling her how she feels like she's not being heard. And she doesn't want to sound ungrateful or selfish, but she just feels like whenever she, like, all day she has been saying she doesn't want to celebrate, she doesn't want to do anything, and people have kind of just been ignoring her. And Olivia is like, well, it's just because we want you to feel loved and fulfilled and all this other kind of stuff, because Layla has had a rough couple years. And Layla's like, I just need to be more direct. More direct. So we see Coop telling Patience that she's going to quit rapping. And Patience is like, why would you give up on your dream? Now, I was like, girl, you done dropped out of school. You done did all this extra, that done got a GED when you could have got a high school diploma. No, take some time. Get your lung capacity together. Work on your lungs and then get back to rapping. You can't expect to be shot in the chest or stomach, wherever you were shot at, and be able to start rapping like a couple months later. That's not how that works. But see, Coop is the type that she is so, Coop is up here when it comes to most annoying characters on TV. Coop likes to feel sorry for herself. She likes these pity parties. So she always makes this like random ass face and it's just, no. Like Coop, I feel like Coop is somebody that says stuff, word vomits, and then thinks about the repercussions of it later. So Patience just kind of walks away from her, and I give Coop and Patience at least 2 more episodes before this is a done deal. So we see Layla wants to work on being more direct. So when her dad, like the party's over, her dad is the last one to leave, and she tells her dad, I don't want to be called princess anymore. Because it reminds her of a damsel in distress that needs to be saved, and she doesn't want to be looked at that way. And her dad was like, it's just a nickname. And she was saying how she's an adult now, she's 18, and she didn't want to celebrate her birthday because it just reminds her of the end of the childhood she never really had. And I'm like, I can see that. She probably should have said that earlier, but whatever. And so her dad was like, well, we can do whatever you want to do, doesn't matter. And they end up going to a gun range, and Layla turned into a little assassin because she was getting some good shots off. And then finally, we see Billy talking to Jordan, and Jordan is apologizing, saying he didn't mean what he said earlier. And Billy was like, you did. And he wants to know, why didn't Jordan come to him for help? And Jordan said, because the last time I came to you for help, when he was going to fail the drug test, that he almost got Billy fired. So he didn't want to put his dad in that situation again, and that's the only reason he didn't. I don't believe that to be true, but all right, Jordan. And then we see Spencer is like completely done with Billy. So he's sitting in the house, hanging out with Liv. They're going to watch a movie. And I think the fact that he's there is because in his mind, Billy threw him away. So I'm done with it. Fuck it all. So I am Tammy. This has been All American Season 4, Episode 2. If you enjoyed the video, thumbs up the video, leave some comments down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.